Hi, it's Jaitni. I hope you're having a really good week. This week, I want to talk about fears. So, fears are real. I don't care what anybody says or about anybody else's opinion, but if you're afraid of something, that's legit. Your fears are legit, no matter how big or how small. The other thing about fears is if there is a fear, there's also a cause and effect to it, right? So if you're afraid of leaving the house or if you're afraid to drive, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with a loved one's life that's making you a little scared, that's making you nervous. So that fear is legit. When you're afraid, try and ask yourself why, instead of asking yourself, why can't I be like this? Or why can't I get over my fear? Just simply ask yourself, why am I afraid? What is it that's happened that's put me in this scenario? When you know the root cause of that fear, it gets a lot easier to face that fear and overcome it for good. So now that we have that out of the way, what I want to share with you this week are 5 ways that I get over my fears. These are 5 reminders that I always tell myself. So please borrow them. I hope they resonate with you. Add your own to the list. But if they apply to you, definitely use them and share them if you think somebody might be able to take advantage of them. So, my number one reminder is I tell myself that this fear is temporary, that as I'm working my way to overcome my fear, it's temporary. It's only going to be 5 minutes of my life or 1 week or even 20 days. And then there is something bigger and better there for me because I'm working towards getting over my fear. It's not the rest of my life. It's not all of my past. It's just the next 5 minutes or next few days or next few months, whatever the situation. Something else, number 2, that I tell myself is I remind myself that this is the first step in actually getting out of my comfort zone. So if I don't take the steps needed to overcome my fears, how am I ever going to grow? Right? I am the catalyst to change, not anybody else, not the universe, not circumstances, nothing else but me. The only change that can come about is through me. I'm in control of that. So I remind myself that every fear that I work through is a step in the right direction. It's a step into my dreams, and it's a step to grow and challenge myself as a person. Number 3, what I tell myself is that I wouldn't be faced with my fears if the universe didn't think I was ready. So if fear comes knocking at your doorstep, it's not just random. It's somewhere out there. It's the universe, the almighty, whatever you believe in, thinks you are ready and capable to face that fear. So instead of being really afraid of overcoming those challenges, you say thank you and you keep moving forward because somewhere somebody thinks you are ready to take on this challenge. If you weren't, you wouldn't be facing your fears. Number 4, I literally imagine the relief I will experience once I've overcome my fears. I even imagine how successful I'm going to feel, how elated, how strong, and how confident. Now, to give you an example, this year I took a really difficult board exam. I am now a board certified health coach, but I had to study really hard for the exam. It's a very tough exam, one that when you walk out of there, you have no idea how you've performed. It's very conceptual, and you have to really have a very good understanding of the philosophies and a lot of the teachings in the textbooks. So it was a tough exam. I had to study really hard. I sacrificed, I don't know how many weekends, how many evenings after a full-time job studying for this exam because it was very important for me to succeed at it. But, there were occasions when I would get nervous or scared that, oh my God, am I ready? Am I ready to take this exam? Should I reschedule it? Should I postpone it by 6 months? Maybe I don't have enough time to prepare for it. But then I would imagine how elated and how relieved I'm going to feel once I've taken the exam. Then I would also imagine how successful I'm going to feel, how confident I'm going to feel, and confident to take even bigger and more difficult challenges in my life. And just overall, how ready I would be once I would take the exam. So imagine that as you're facing your fears, just envision those positive emotions and know that if you can get over this hump, you'll be ready to get over even tougher humps in your life. The next thing I tell myself is I imagine the best case scenario. So when the fears come knocking, instead of thinking of everything negative, I actually think, well, what if this were to work out? What would my life be like? Going back to the example of the exam, I would imagine my best case scenario is having the knowledge and the skill set to help my clients even more. I would imagine what it would be like to be part of an organization that grooms and develops health coaches to truly succeed. I would imagine what it would be like to connect with other board certified health coaches and network, learn from them, and again, grow in my field. So for me, that was the best case scenario, is once I pass, this is what I have waiting for me. So when you focus on the best case scenario instead of everything that can go wrong, you are actually willing and ready to take the steps towards facing your fears. So think of it kind of as a psychological play. You're getting yourself ready. It's a pep talk in your head that you can do this. You can overcome that challenge that's in front of you. And once you're done, guess what? You'll be even stronger and more confident to take on bigger challenges. So just to kind of recap, here are the 5 things that I tell myself. Number 1 is I tell myself it's temporary. It's only a few days, a few months, a few minutes. Number 2, I tell myself that this is the first step towards growth. And growth only happens when you step out of your comfort zone. Number 3 is I thank the universe. And I say, thank you for presenting me with this fear, for giving me the opportunity to face the fear. Because if I wasn't ready and capable, this would have never happened. Number 4 is I imagine all the wonderful feels after getting over my fears. For me, that's feeling strong, feeling capable, feeling relieved, and feeling confident to handle even more. And then number 5 for me is I imagine the best case scenario. I really think about how walking through this one door will open up 10 others for me and how I can get closer to the life of my dreams. So I hope you got something out of this. If you enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe, and share. If you want to learn more about me and how I can help you, please check out my website. That's www.imperfectbodies.com. I hope you have a peaceful week, and I hope you feel totally ready and willing to take on your fears.